Hey everybody, I'm Shri. Welcome back to the channel. So, have you ever been in a relationship or even just, talked to someone of the opposite sex and thought, what in the world is going on in their head? Like, are we even speaking the same language here? Don't worry, you're not alone. We've all been there. 1 minute you're having a perfectly normal conversation, the next minute it's like, BAM! Misunderstanding city. It turns out, a lot of these head-scratching moments between men and women actually come down to science. That's right, science. Today we're diving deep into the most shocking and hilarious differences between men and women. We're talking about the stuff you always kind of wondered about, but were too afraid to ask. Get ready for some serious aha moments because some of this stuff will blow your mind. Let's go.
Fellas, admit it. We've all been accused of this at some point, right? Your significant other is talking about their day. They're telling a long, detailed story about something that happened at work, and you're just nodding along. You're thinking about pizza, or that game you want to watch, or maybe you're just completely zoned out. And then, bam! You get hit with the classic, "Are you even listening to me?"
Ladies, I know you know what I'm talking about.
But here's the thing, it's not entirely our fault. Studies have actually shown that men process speech differently than women. I'm talking real scientific research here, people. And guess what they found? Men only hear about 30% of what women say in long conversations. 30%. That's like listening to a podcast on 1.5 speed while also trying to read a menu in a foreign language. It's no wonder we get that glazed over look in our eyes. Now, I'm not saying this gives us a free pass to completely tune you out, ladies. We're working on it, okay? But maybe cut us some slack, all right? Our brains are just wired a little differently.
But here's the really interesting part. While men might struggle with those long, detailed conversations, we excel in other areas. For example, have you ever noticed that men are really good at remembering directions? Like, scarily good? You only have to tell us how to get somewhere once, and we've got it memorized.
That's because our brains are wired for spatial awareness. We're all about maps, directions, and figuring out the best route. So the next time your man forgets what you said 5 minutes ago, don't get mad. Just hand him a map and tell him to navigate you to the nearest pizza place. He'll be in his element. It's all about balance, right? All right, let's move on to fact number 2, which is one of my personal favorites. Why women remember everything. Seriously, it's like their brains are superpowered memory banks.
You could tell a woman something in passing like 7 years ago, and she'll remember it like it was yesterday. And don't even get me started on arguments. Women remember every single detail of every single argument they've ever had. I can't tell you how many times I've been in an argument with a woman, thought everything was all good, and then bam! Out of nowhere, they hit you with the, "Remember that time back in 2012 when you said," and I'm just like, 2012? Seriously? I can barely remember what I had for breakfast.
But there they are, reciting the entire argument word for word, complete with dramatic reenactments. It's incredible.
But you know what? There's actually a scientific reason for this amazing memory power. It turns out that women have a larger hippocampus than men. Now, for those of you who don't spend their days geeking out over brain anatomy, the hippocampus is like the memory center of the brain. It's where all your memories are stored, from your favorite childhood vacations to that embarrassing thing you did in high school that you'd rather forget. So basically, women have larger memory centers than men, which means they can store more memories and recall them with greater accuracy. It's like having a built-in DVR in your brain that never runs out of storage space. Pretty amazing, right? But hey, with all that memory power comes great responsibility, ladies. Be kind to us forgetful fellas, will ya? Chapter 3. Fact number 3. The risk-taking gene. Okay, moving on to fact number 3. And this one's a real doozy. The risk-taking gene. Now, I think we can all agree that men are generally more likely to take risks than women. I mean, it's practically a scientific fact at this point.
You know what I'm talking about. The guys who love extreme sports, the ones who drive way too fast, the ones who think it's a good idea to jump off a roof into a swimming pool. Spoiler alert, it's not.
And you know what's behind all this daredevil behavior? You guessed it, testosterone. That's right, the very hormone that makes men, well, men, is also responsible for their seemingly endless appetite for risk. Testosterone is like the fuel that powers the risk-taking engine in the male brain.
It's what makes men want to push the limits, test their boundaries, and see how far they can go before, gravity takes over. But here's the thing. It's not just about being reckless or irresponsible. Risk-taking can actually be a good thing.
Think about it. Every great invention, every groundbreaking discovery, every daring adventure throughout history started with someone taking a risk. Someone who wasn't afraid to step outside their comfort zone, to challenge the status quo, to try something new and different.
So the next time you see a guy doing something that makes you shake your head and say, what is he thinking? Remember this, he might just be wired that way. It's in his DNA. But hey, maybe try to steer him towards risks that don't involve a hospital visit, okay?
We all appreciate a good adrenaline rush now and then, but let's try to keep all our limbs intact, shall we? Chapter 4. Fact number 4, shopping, a scientific difference. Alright, last but not least, let's talk about shopping. Because let's be honest, nobody does shopping quite like women do.
Men, on the other hand, well, we tend to have a slightly different approach, shall we say. For most women, shopping is an experience, an adventure, a quest to find the perfect item.
They'll happily spend hours browsing through racks of clothes, trying on different outfits, comparing prices, and debating the merits of various shades of lipstick.
Men, on the other hand, we're all about efficiency. We go into a store with a mission, find the thing we need, buy it, and get out. We don't need to try on 10 different pairs of jeans to find the right fit. We know our size.
We don't need to spend an hour agonizing over which brand of socks to buy. Socks are socks, people, and don't even get me started on asking for help. We'd rather wander around aimlessly for hours than admit we can't find what we're looking for.
But hey, just like with everything else, there's a scientific reason for this difference in shopping styles. Studies have shown that women's brains are hardwired for detailed scanning. They're like human metal detectors, able to spot a bargain or a hidden gem from a mile away.
Men, on the other hand, are more task-oriented. We see what we want, we go get it, and then we move on with our lives.
So the next time you're out shopping with your significant other and they're taking their sweet time, just remember, it's not their fault, it's science. Their brains are simply wired to appreciate the finer details of the shopping experience.
Just try to be patient, offer to carry the bags, and maybe sneak in a quick power nap while they're busy browsing.
The more you know, that's it for today's deep dive into the amazing world of brain science. So, what do you think? Which fact surprised you the most? Was it the selective hearing thing? Because, come on, you had to know that was coming. Or maybe it was the shopping one. I'm telling you, the science is real, people. If you've ever experienced one of these funny differences in real life, let me know in the comments below. I want to hear all your hilarious stories. And hey, while you're at it, hit that like button if you can relate to any of this. And don't forget to subscribe for more crazy facts every week. Until next time, stay curious, my friends.